Patigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamastravastamam Shestarajam Brahma Brahmas Patana Srivanuti Bharshiri Saranam Hi, this class is streaming on the Sunday before the winter solstice. And there's a vast array of exciting astrological things that are happening, and I had planned to do a gala class based around all of that. But it just feels like this week, all people need is a hug. So today's class is going to be about boosting serotonin, boosting oxytocin. When preemies are born and are in the NICU, they have heat lamps and special food, and everything's orchestrated for them on a seemingly everything should be handled for them physiologically. But in order for babies to thrive, the parents come in and they lay the baby skin on skin, naked on their chest. And it was found that babies need that to thrive. Oops, I think you have to edit a little bit. Sorry.
You can say it again, I feel like.
I'm gonna. When a preemie baby is born and has to be in the NICU, all of the seeming necessities for their well-being are taken care of by machinery. But it was found that babies need skin-on-skin contact in order to thrive. And so parents come in and they lay naked skin on skin, the baby on the parent's chest. So my hope for you is that this class is like that sort of a sensation. In fact, as we get ready to tune in, if you can think of someone that you particularly love or miss or would like to hug, and dedicate this class to them and that relationship. All right, let's tune in. So a good place to be when you're about to start any meditative practice is to feel like you have some stability, that you are like a tiny little mountain. If there's something that you can change or shift or enhance in your physical body or in your mental awareness to make yourself feel like you are solid, like you are a small mountain, do that. It's also good to notice that all humans have a desire for an evolved consciousness. And you might be able to feel that through the upward lift in your spine and the top of your head towards the sky, towards the heavens. And a third way to prepare yourself for a meditation practice is to shift yourself out of the turmoil of being a human and simply watch that with compassion. So the way to do that is to start to watch your breath. Not needing to intervene in how your breath normally flows. Not needing to have any opinions or thoughts about it, but begin to observe, noticing the minute fluctuations, the wonder of the act of breathing. And now we're going to have a chant that's like a way to step out of our ordinary existence and into something that is little more than who we normally think of ourselves as. Let's take one deep inhale and exhale. And then inhale and chant. Om Namo Gurudeva Namo. Om Namo Gurudeva Namo. Om Namo Gurudeva Namo. Inhale. If you work with Mulband, engage Mulband. If you work with Jalandhara Bandha, alter the position of your neck and chest, and then relax. All right. It's always good to get the old parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system balanced. So we're going to use Kapalabhati breath or breath of fire or Agni, however you want to refer to it, one nostril at a time. So to start out, close your right nostril. And we're going to do a powerful exhale and feel your belly pull back towards your spine when you do it. And then let your air come back in. Good, keep going just like you are, that's great. You want to pick a rate that you can sustain and feel comfortable, effortless, but still feel the power of the practice. We're going to keep going just through the left nostril for about a minute more. Working with left and right nostril breathing establishes balance between the two aspects of the autonomic nervous system. So we're working on the part that right now that calms us down. But sometimes when this part of our nervous system is overly active, then we can move towards depression and darkness, anxiety. So feel as though, as we do this last 30 seconds, that you're soothing the cortisol levels, that your adrenals aren't needing to work so much, that you feel like you're getting more peaceful, like you could take a nap after we were done. Another 15 seconds. Great, inhale. Mulband and Jalandhara Bandha. And exhale. Sit with your eyes closed for a second. So working with that part of the nervous system should cause there to be more circulation in towards the core, towards the organs that need to process the liver, the digestion. You get a little more circulation to your brain. Heart rate slows down. we're going to do the next nostril, and I wish I would have mentioned this beforehand. If you are congested at all, then you want to stick your flat palm in the opposite armpit. So I just got my hand, stick it in my left armpit because we're going to work with the right nostril next. And you've got just a little bit of a squeeze right in there. Block off your left nostril. Take a deep inhale. And then feel your navel pull back towards your spine as you exhale. Good, keep going. And I'm going to describe a way to think about Mulband. We're going to be using it in just a few seconds. You know, in your sink, how you can make the drain close, you can pull the stopper. So I'd like you to imagine an upside down one of those sink stoppers in the center of your pelvic floor. And when we contract Mulband, it's like you're pushing that toggle that draws the plunger. In this case, it's going to be upwards to seal it. You're going to close that drain and then feel as though energy, chi, prana, rather than directed outwards, gets to stay inside of you. In fact, might get redirected along that pathway that I mentioned, that desire that we all have to be at a more elevated level of awareness, of consciousness, of evolution. All right, so here we go. You ready? Inhale and think about a sink stopper, and you're going to draw up the very center of your pelvic floor, sealing energy in, reversing energy that would normally be lost towards that personal evolution. If you also use neck lock, you can lift your chest a little bit and draw your chin towards it. Great. All right, for the next one, if you're stiff or not feeling super active today, get a firm pillow or maybe even like a sofa cushion and put it behind your back. We're going to be rolling on our spine. So if you're not feeling like you can do a whole spinal roll right now, then just get your big firm cushion right behind you. You're going to sit cross-legged and hold on to your feet on either side. And then we'll do spinal rolls. Massaging along your back. Think about increasing circulation on the physical level and in the energy channels along your spine. If you're rocking all the way up to your shoulders, make sure you tuck your chin into your chest so you don't hurt your neck. And if you're using a cushion, just rock up as high as you comfortably can. Great. Come back upright. Inhale deeply and draw up on that. You could think of it as sealing the drain in the base of your body, the energetic drain. Draw up, redirect energy upwards. Redirect energy towards healing, towards soothing. Good. All right, next one. You can do this sitting in a chair. You could do it on your hands and knees. So we're going to do lion's pose, but then also a variation on lion's pose. So if you're doing it down on your, sitting on your legs, then your big toes are touching. And you're going to turn your hands, if you can, to point towards you. No matter whether you're doing it in this position, on your hands and knees, or in a chair, you want to get a nice arch in your spine. When we're doing the exhale part, your eyes are going to look up as high as you can. When you exhale, your tongue comes out and you can waggle your tongue if you like, and you want to get your tongue as far out of your mouth as you can. So that you feel it tug where it's attached to the base of your mouth. So if you're doing this up on your hands and knees, similar, just have your big toes touch, turn your palms as much towards you as you can. And if you're in a chair, knees wide, hands on your knees. All right, so get that arch in your back. Deep inhale. And then as you exhale, you enhance the arch, your eyes open, gazing as high up as they can, and your tongue comes out. Inhale, kind of ease off of everything, and then exhale. A couple more like that. All right, good. So now stay in the full exhale position. You got the arch in your spine, you got the eyes rolling upwards as high as they can, and the tongue out. And now we're going to start that Agnisari breath, the breath of fire. So strong exhale. It'll be in and out of the mouth though, and pull your navel point back when you exhale. About 15 more seconds. Pump your navel as powerfully as you can. Great. Inhale. Moband. So drawing the plug in the energy that might be released through the base of the body, containing the energy in the upper body. And relax. For this next one, you're going to need your firm cushion to sit on. If you happen to be able to sit in full lotus for 4 minutes, good on you, and you can do that. I won't be doing that, and but you want to be distinctly up higher. You could even be sitting on a block if a block's easier for you. And similar, we can get a similar effect to sitting in lotus pose by having loose fists right here in the low part of our belly. So normally in lotus, your heel would be there. We're going to be bowing our forehead to the ground and coming back up. And in the act of doing that, by having our bottom lifted up, we're increasing the amount of pressure that's going to be exerted. And normally our heel would be there, creating the pressure on the low abdomen. But we're going to do that with our loose fists. The vast majority, like 90% of the serotonin that our body produces is produced in the gut. And I was reading on the Mayo Clinic website about mechanoreceptors in the gut that can trigger serotonin production. So there can be different reasons why we might be doing this particular practice, but for today, we're going to be thinking about balancing our neurochemistry. So loose fists in the hand. Also, if you find it a strain on your back to get your forehead all the way to the ground, then put something else there. Put a book or something so that your forehead can make contact. All right, so inhaling up, exhale forward. We're going to do this for 4 minutes. So pace yourself. Take a break when you need to. And any time that you stop the physical movement, then create as clear a mental image visualization of yourself doing the practice as you possibly can. The spot between our eyebrows is getting stimulated by this gentle repetition of touching it to the floor. The second through the fifth chakras have trigger spots on the front of the body that are ways that we can help to learn the positions of the actual chakras in the body. The sixth chakra is different in that there is a direct connection, a nadi, a line of energy that goes from the center of the forehead right to Ajna chakra in the center of the head. Doing good. Make sure and stop and rest if you want to, and visualize yourself continuing the practice. With the chakras, there's corresponding nerve plexi, oftentimes the corresponding organ that might be a nice, more like a companion to the chakra. With the sixth chakra, there is an actual physical manifestation that is associated with the chakra, and that is the pineal gland. While there is much more to the level of consciousness at Ajna chakra, the pineal gland is part of it. You can think of it as a sluice gate, as a conduit point for our universal connection and the individual connection. Or like an antenna that can act as a receiver and a transmitter. There is a cerebral spinal fluid that surrounds the brain and the spinal column. And neurotransmitters can get released directly into that fluid, making an impact on the brain, or vice versa, on the brain down through the rest of the body. If you'd like, right now, you can think about taking energy, maybe taking serotonin that's being produced down in the gut and feeling it emerge up the spine, either energetically or through the cerebral spinal fluid surrounding the nerves of the spine, all the way up to the brain. Great. Inhale up. Lift up on Mulband. Seal energy on the upper side with the neck lock. Good. Okay, then come down onto your back. We'll do some vigorous cat stretch from side to side. So with bent knee, you'll rock over to one side, come back to center, bent knee, rock over to the other side, back and forth. You can alternately straighten one leg if you like. Just make sure you're getting a nice deep twist through the abdomen. A little bit longer. And then settle on your back and feel like you're just gonna shake things up a little bit. Move the energy around, move the neurotransmitters around just for a minute. Relax for a second. All right. Continuing to reduce tension, eliminate pain, eliminate depression. For the next couple of practices, you can do them with like a reverse tabletop that way, or If you've got a lot of strength, you're going to do it like this. And we're going to be going up and down. So if you're like this, it'll look like this. And if it's okay on your neck, you're also going to let your head drop back. This one goes on for a little bit longer than you might desire. Take a break if you need to. No birds tweeting today, just rain sounds. Keep going if you want to. Take a break if you want to. Visualize yourself doing it if you're taking a break. Great, calm down, inhale, engage Mulband, exhale. We're going to do brief repetitions of that with one leg up in the air. So you might even want to do it all the way down on the ground, or if it's easier on your elbows. But if you can, plank pose with one leg up in the air, breath of fire. And then up and down. Great, inhale. Squeeze Mulband and relax. And for an even shorter amount of time, same thing with the right leg up in the air. That one won't even work. Great, inhale, squeeze Mulband. Exhale, relax. Go ahead and relax all the way down onto your back. And then roll over. You're going to have your left hand and forearm on the ground, and then your right hand on top of your left hand underneath you. You might have to adjust the position that they're in once you get the hang of the posture. And it's sort of like we're going to do little cobra push-ups from here. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. We're going to do it for a while, a few minutes. So if you want to shift your hand position, You can shift your hand position. If you can come all the way up with straight arms, you can do that. My clock stuck. Good, inhale up. Exhale down. Come into Sphinx pose. And keeping your left leg perfectly straight, raise it up however much you can, lower it down. We'll just do this for 1 minute. If this is a strain on your back, come down lower. If this feels pretty uneventful, you can be up in a deeper cobra and do the practice. Keep the legs straight. Good. Right leg for just 30 seconds, perfectly straight. Perfect. Roll over onto your back. We're going to have our legs up off the floor straight. So if it helps you to have your hands underneath your hips, go ahead and put your hands under your hips. Working towards eventually having your legs about a foot off the ground, but start wherever you can do it, controlling the leg position with your abdomen. And we're going to just simply point and flex the feet with the movement emphasized in the ankles. Great, inhale, engage movement. release down. All right, so that concludes the sets for increasing strength and balance, reducing, eliminating tension, pain, and depression. I'd like to add one more asana, which is potentially a risky one. If you have high blood pressure or neck issues, you may need to do an extremely modified version of this, but we're going to try and go upside down into a headstand. And if you know absolutely that you can't put your head on the floor, then just go ahead and have your legs straight up. And if you can, put your firm cushion or block underneath your hips. The goal of what we're doing today is to increase circulation in our brain, to get blood flow to that pineal gland that we were already working with, and we actually briefly increase our blood pressure. There's some of the blood vessels in the brain are, you can't see with the naked eye, they're smaller than a hair, and they can become congested and no longer functional. And by slightly reducing the blood pressure and being upside down, it helps to increase blood flow into those what may be compromised vessels. So the very first option of doing a headstand is just to put the top of your head on the floor. You can interlace your fingers, and this palmy cupped part of your hand supports the back of your head. There's a spot that's not towards the back and not towards the front, just kind of right here in the center, which is a good place to be weight bearing. If you know that you're going to just be doing this for a short amount of time, then go ahead and do the version with your laying on your back with your legs up in the air to start to get the blood flow out of the legs, feet, and into the core. And then we'll come over and do this variation. So you simply wrap your hands around the back of your head. Your elbows are about the same distance apart as your wrists, and you just put that top of your head on the floor. You can do this for 5 seconds. If you are not feeling any strain or challenge in your neck, in your blood pressure, then you can start to straighten your legs. So this is a little bit of a free form you may want to start with laying on your back with your legs up in the air. I'll be here doing this for about 3 minutes total. And if you can get your legs inverted for a minute, that gives the physiological changes that start to happen really have a chance to take place. And then if you can shoot for up to 30 seconds with your head down. Obviously there's a lot of people that is not going to work for, and if that's the case, then just stay with your legs up in the air and visualize enhanced circulation into your brain, into the pineal gland. If you're someone who consistently does headstand on their own, and you can feel free to come up feet away from the floor or even legs up towards the ceiling. So an interesting fact about headstand is that while your legs should be straight and together, if you can keep the muscles of the legs and feet relaxed, that helps to let the blood flow out of the legs and into the torso and head. I think every yoga teacher I've ever had was adamant that my legs were engaged. And there may have been a good reason for that, but for our purposes today, legs are relaxed. I really hope my stomach is not showing. I can feel my serotonin dropping. My cortisol spiking. Oh dear, don't fall out of your pose. All right, that's probably been long enough. However you came into the pose, do the opposite to come out. That is almost always going to be safe. Lie in child's pose for about 30 seconds. Long enough for the blood pressure to start to normalize. With most yoga postures, you do an opposite to allow your body to normalize. And the opposite pose for headstand is standing up. So sorry, this might go out of I might be out of the shot just a little bit. I won't be there for long. For anybody who is doing this at home though, stand up. You're gonna come up balancing on your toes, and you wanna have a drishti. So balancing on the toes, especially putting pressure on the big toes, helps to stimulate pineal and pituitary. Gazing at a fixed spot does the same, especially try and get that fixed spot to be small, like the tip of your pinky finger. And we'll stay there for 1 minute. Good, and then come down. All right. Another great thing about headstand is that it really calms and focuses the mind. So that puts us in a great place now to move to pranayama. And since we're thinking about balance, finding a neutral state for our neurochemistry and emotions, let's work with Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. Oftentimes in class when I'm doing this, I'm encouraging us to work towards a specific goal. And today the goal is just about using the practice to feel restored and soothed and balanced. If you're feeling tired, you can do Nadi Shodhana on your back. We're going to breathe in through the left nostril. Let's just do in and out through the left nostril for about a minute. This is a great beginning intro to a longer pranayama. Good, keep going. So if you're new to this, the hand position, you can use either right or left, is with the thumb and ring fingers being the toggles to open and close the nostrils. And then the pointer finger and the middle finger, Saturn and Jupiter fingers, rest right at the eyebrow center, pressing on that that connection to Ajna chakra. And then let's switch and do a minute in and out of the right only. And you can switch your thumb and finger, or you can switch hands. I'd like you to start now to notice if your shoulders move up and down at all when you're breathing. If they do, that is exacerbating any stress, strain, or tension in your system. Make your shoulders totally relaxed and resting downward with the rate of gravity, and all of the stretch that happens from the breath comes through the rib cage, the abdomen. And now we're going to move into Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing in through the left. Toggle your finger and thumb, exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. So as we're introducing ourselves into the practice, the goal here is stretching out the length of the inhale, the length of the exhale, enhancing the amount of air that is pushed in and pushed out. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, feeling perhaps even a stretching sensation through the midsection, through the rib cage as you expand. Use ujjayi breathing, so a little bit of a tightness, a constriction in your throat that lets less air in and out at a time and helps you stretch out the length of the breaths. To begin with, both the inhale and exhale are very long and as close to the same length of time as you can get them. We're using that ujjayi breath so that you can hear the sound of your breath. And the next thing to add would be Pachari Mudra with your tongue. So taking your tongue all the way to the soft palate and pressing there. A little mini chakra, Lalani chakra. It's where evidently the nectar of bliss is stored. Press on your reservoir of the nectar of bliss with all of the gusto that you have. For those of you who are long-term practitioners, the transition to holding the breath on the inhale, holding the breath on the exhale is going to feel like a natural invitation, a natural progression. Go ahead and incorporate that. And just remembering that today, rather than trying to achieve a particular goal, we're trying to allow the breath, the balancing of the autonomic nervous system, to lead us into deeper levels of ease and bliss. We're working on the physical level, but we're also working on the energetic, the pranic level of the body. To enhance that, whenever you're breathing in or out, you can have a sense of one of those channels moving from the nostril to the third eye spot in the center of the forehead, and then back out through the opposite nostril. After a while, it might almost look like a neon upside down V shape. At the end of each inhale, when you got all the breath in, it's almost like you put a little question mark up and say, does it feel good to stay here? And as long as it does feel good to stay at that fully inhaled position, then you stay there. And when the answer to that question is like, no, it is no longer comfortable, it's no longer enticing, it is no longer creating bliss, then you exhale. If the answer to that question is yes, this is inducing a state of bliss to pause with my breath held in, then you can experiment with some additional things. You can close both nostrils while your breath is held in. Use the thumb and finger both. This helps to enhance pratyahara, or this ability to be undisturbed by the outside. You can also do that plunger, lifting upwards of mul band for as long as the breath is held in. And if you like Nekla, Jarandhara Bandha, you can use that as well. Using the tongue mudra can create some strain. The strain reduces the more that you practice over time. But whenever it's too uncomfortable, then simply relax your tongue. But in your mind's eye, in your visualization, in your intention, continue to apply pressure to the center of your soft palate, stimulating that little sub-chakra related to bliss, the reservoir of amrit, of nectar. And then after your next exhale, you can stop the practice. So ideally, you're feeling really good right now and in a perfect place to come down on your back for Shavasana. Or you might be feeling so good that you want to just stay sitting upright and enjoying sort of an effortless move right into meditation. It won't take any effort at all. All right, we are going to transition now to meditation. Check in with yourself. You can do this meditation lying down, sitting in a sophisticated yoga pose, or sitting in a chair. What feels the most bliss-inducing for you right now? While you're moving towards whatever position that is, I'll show you the hand mudra, one palm over the other. Hands, you can either press them into the heart, or if it feels better to have your hands just a little bit away from your chest, like you're radiating warmth and light into your heart, you can do that. The chant is Sat Nam, and the Sat will be long. We'll try and do it like a 30-to-1 ratio. Sat, short Nam. The eye position can be towards the tip of your nose. Anytime you're gazing towards the tip of your nose, that is reducing fear, inducing a sense of calm. If you prefer, you can gaze towards the third eye center, enhancing that sense of universal connection. So get yourself ready. We'll have a little beat, a little pause between each one of the chants. And I will strike the bowl in between. Oh, that sounds so sad. Let's put it up here. That's better. So as the bowl is striking, you'll be able to follow that sound out into infinity. So here we go. Oh, sorry, one more thing. And similarly, your chant is the sound of your soul moving out into infinity. We'll keep going with the meditation, but simply slide your hands up, cupping either side of your face, as though you were holding the face of someone you love. And think of the next few satnams as though you were saying, "My dear, I wish we could be together." Satnam. Slide your hands back down to your heart. Satnam. Sit with your hands pressing into your own chest, into your own heart. Continue to hear with your mind's eye, with your mind's ear, the sound of the chant or the bowl. Press into your own chest. Think of that healing, that undescribable healing, that unknowable healing that happens skin on skin. The infant in the NICU pressed against their parents' chest. And let's do one long Satnam to close. Satnam. Sending love to you all. Satnam. Namaste. Thanks, baby.